I'm going to talk about the Indian 11. One you mentioned, go with the same combination, that's the spinner. Now, if there is another slight area of concern, and that will be Rahul, and I'm not necessarily talking about his batting because conditions haven't been good, and he's chipped in with a few here and there. The wicket keeping once in a while has been a bit troublesome. He missed a few chances. Do you stick with him, or you're tempted to go with a regular wicket keeper? I can understand stuff on him. He's a part-time wicket keeper at the end of the day.
If that had to be the thinking, then you should have played Rishabh Pant in the game against New Zealand, because again, that was, it was a matter of finishing 1 or 2, but you would have given him some game time in the middle. Now in a knockout game like the semi-final, I think it is tough to make a change. Rahul didn't have the best of days, but don't forget that the pitch was doing something, so wouldn't have been easy for a regular wicket keeper. We keep on talking about Rahul as a makeshift keeper. He's not a makeshift keeper. I mean, you've seen him take some fabulous catches, but this kind of a thing happens where the ball turns a little bit more, so instead of the ball hitting here and sticking there, the ball's been hitting somewhere here and bouncing off. So that is just one of those things. I don't think he's got anything wrong. We've seen wicket keepers who played for India whose hands were somewhere else and the ball was somewhere else. Here at least his hands were there. There was a more of an edge, a bit more of an edge, and maybe there was a little bit more turn off the edge as well, which is the reason those catches didn't stick. So I wouldn't hold that against Rahul at all.
Let's take a look at the Australian team as well. When I looked at their squad, I thought that, they are a spinner short there, because Adam Zampa, I know Maxwell was there, Matthew Short was there, they were off spinners. Indians love playing against off spinner, and guess what happened in the eve of the match? Matthew Short is out. You've got a Cooper Conley, a left arm spinner drafted in. Does that now change the complexion? Should we be looking at this Australian team earlier? Because I thought they were ill planned for a place like Dubai.
Yes, I think a left-hand spinner coming in definitely will definitely help their team. They balance their attack just that little bit. But don't forget, he's a newcomer. And for him, this is a big game. Yeah, he's made his debut only recently, so I'm not too sure whether he's 100% into the thing. But cricket is a funny game. Sometimes youngsters look at this as the biggest opportunity to be able to play a top team like India, do well against India. So let's just hope that. It doesn't happen this time with India.
Okay, the Australian batting. Now, we know that they are a depleted team that you have at the moment. The depleted team because of no bowlers there as such. Their primary bowlers aren't there, but the batting lineup. I'm going to talk about Steve Smith. We've already spoken about Travis Head. There's a Manas Labuschagne. There is a Maxwell who on a day can be a game changer. So that's one area of Australian team you need to worry about.
Definitely, yes. I think they are a very good batting lineup. Very, very good batting. A much better batting lineup than their bowling lineup. So they could conceivably look to bat first, put a solid total on the board, and then because it's a knockout game, runs on the board always adds pressure on the team that is chasing. So maybe that is the tactic that they will look to do. Even if they're chasing, because of the depth in their batting lineup, India knows that they will not be able to take it easy. And we've seen over here as well, once the dew comes in, the pitch doesn't grip and turn as much unless you have somebody like a Ravindra Jadeja. There was a fair bit of turn when New Zealand were bowling, when India was batting, but when the roller was used and then New Zealand came in to chase the total, there wasn't the same kind of grip. So it's going to be a tricky call for the captain who wins the toss what to do, whether to bat first or not.
On the subject of toss, does that now change? Because we've seen that batting first was the way to go so far in this pitch, but now that we were talking about that it's going to be a good pitch, would chasing then be something that teams can look at?
That is the strength that India has, really. I mean, we've seen the way that with comfort level with which they chase down totals against Bangladesh and Pakistan, with plenty of overs to spare. They had wickets in hand. So that could be the thing that they would want to do as well against Australia. But again, you want to be mindful of the fact that if the pitch is going to be good at the start, then you could have a situation where the Australians could maybe total up 270 to 300, and that will mean the pressure will be hugely on India to chase. So it's going to be a balancing act. And in a situation like this, as captain, sometimes when you're going and you don't know what to do, bat first or whatever, what happens is you hope that you don't win the toss because the decision is taken out of your hands.
Okay, Simon, we're running out of time. Unfortunately, we can't hear from Rohit Sharma. We're having issues in the back end. But Rohit Sharma, his fitness, what do you make of it? There's a big storm brewing over India, in India, I beg your pardon, because there was a Congress spokesperson coming out and said that, listen, he's not an impressive captain, he's overweight, he can't be carrying on his... And I agree, he's a public figure, everyone is open to that opinion. But I'd want you to distinguish between match fitness and what you see on your screens.
Well, I've always said that if you want only slim guys, then you might as well go to the modeling situation and pick all the models. It's not that. It's how you can play cricket. We talked about Sarfraz Khan, for example. Sarfraz Khan, for a long time, Sarfraz Khan was vilified because he was on the heavier side, but he scores 150 for India in a test match. And again, another 50 plus, I think 2 or 3 50 plus scores he's had. So I don't think size has got anything to do with it. It's, your mental strength where you can, last the distance. That's the most important thing. Last the distance, bat well, bat for long, and score the runs.